going to do another very, very careful guitar review. Another IYV. This time it looks like a Mustang copy. That was Nero Get Your Fiddle by PGH LiveJamz. So this is the first time plugging it in. I just went right through my pedal board. Whatever's on is on. And I tuned it. It's not staying in tune very well. Let's see what we're looking at here. Ooh, 24-inch scale length. Through the Vox AC-15. I feel like a little kid in the 60s learning, you know. For those of you who don't know, I think that's like the first exercise in Mel Bay or Alfred's or something. People say, what's the first song you ever learned? That was, believe it or not, that was the neck pickup. And then here is the bridge pickup. Ooh, very plinky. Alright, well guys, I'm going to tear the strings off of this thing and see what's on the insides. Alright, here we go. So I'm going to check out underneath this bridge, or the tailpiece, and there's not much to it. Does that look like a decent one? It doesn't feel like a decent one when you use it. Now, I don't know if that's just normal for these. Here's our hole. Hey, check it out. They actually look like Alnico magnets. I could be wrong. Usually ceramics have that big old ceramic thing on the bottom. These are just El Cheapo switches. Doesn't look too bad though. I'm still impressed. IYV at ISMF 200 vintage white. Let me tell you, it's kind of green. That's not just the lighting in here. It kind of looks green. What can we tell you about this thing? That it's made out of poplar. That's cool. It weighs in at 7 pounds, just about. I don't know, this one's maybe a little heavier. So this is a copy of a Mustang, and having owned a Squire Mustang, I can tell you this is a little bit better. See, it's thicker than a Mustang. So the thing about that kind of guitar, like a Mustang, Jazzmaster, Jaguar, is that I've never disliked them. They're just not my thing. The pickups are weaker. They really are. Well, not the Jazzmaster, but on the Jaguar. Now, when I was a kid, we would, I don't know who beeped at me. When I was a kid, played in a band, and I didn't always have a guitar because I took apart the Eldegas and I didn't get anything else yet. But my buddy's dad had a Jaguar, and I played that every so often, and I loved it. But the sound was always kind of that jangly, plinky sound. Jangly, plinky. Jangly, plinky. And this is alright. It's pretty cool. It takes you back in time, though, man. It really does. It makes you feel like you're in the 60s. That's why I plugged it into my Vox. So that's a fun guitar. So far, I've taken it apart, and I think it looks pretty solid. It doesn't look junky at all. Like some of the brands might look a little bit junky. This does not. The neck so far felt okay. It feels really thick. It feels like an inexpensive neck. I didn't say a cheap neck. I said an inexpensive one. It doesn't feel finished. The rosewood type material, I don't know what that is that they put on those. I doubt it's rosewood, but that feels very rough. But it's not a bad guitar. I think he paid seriously $109 or something for it. We'll see. Yeah, so I don't know. When I first got this, or when I first played this, I didn't like it very much. I'm going to say that. I was going to say that it felt kind of cheap. It felt inexpensive, and obviously for a reason. But the more that I just made little adjustments on it, and the more that I got the strings where they need to be as far as intonation and how high they were off the fretboard, it really is a lot better. And so what I would say is, with this guitar, the Inyenvina company did a very good job at what Squier does. And they might have beat Squier on this one. So, yeah, like I said, it's thicker than a Mustang. There's decent sounding pickups. Are they the best? No, they're not the best, but they don't sound bad. They sound very authentic. This tailpiece and tremolo is not the greatest, but I like it. But my tuning doesn't like it, so we're not going to use it a lot. But if you want to get that authentic Jaguar style or Jazzmaster style tremolo, I guess this is what they used, and it looked pretty solid. Fingerboard. This is made of Jatoba, Jatoba. I don't know what that is, but when I first got this guitar, it was very rough. You could feel the grain, like if you moved your finger back and forth, and it was rough. And so I sanded it down, and I made it smooth, and it's nice. Also, the back of the neck didn't feel like it was sanded the whole way, just like the last IYV guitar that I got. It didn't feel like it was sanded, so I did sand that down the rest of the way. 320 up to 1500, so it's super smooth now. There were no problems with the frets really at all. Maybe one or two was giving me a problem, but a couple of high ones that I did level off. These tuners are not the greatest thing in the world, but they're okay. They get the job done. Same with the nut. The nut will get the job done, but it's not the best. It's cut really well compared to other budget instruments, which is what this is. It's not mince words. For what it's doing a really good job. And what it's doing is making an inexpensive Mustang guitar. I really do like it for that. I just think that's a beautiful tone there. We'll take off the vibrato. And for people who like Mustangs, I was on the Squire Talk. People who like Mustangs really seem to like these. They think that these and the J Tersers did a pretty good job of pulling off the old Mustang style. I would say the fit and finish was great. I see no issues at all. No neck pocket cracks, no weird bubbling up or anything. The worst thing that I see on this guitar is a little bit of wonky cutting on the pick guard, which isn't a big deal at all. Like I said, the neck was less than completely optimally sanded, but now it's great. I think that's it. I think this is a very good guitar. You know, it just gives me that feeling. It gives me that old feeling of when I was a kid and I was practicing. I would recommend this guitar for a person who loves nostalgia. So once again, I want to thank Skippy over at PGH LiveJamz for lending me yet another IV. They're pretty good, especially after I set them up. This one's in great shape now. Beautiful frets. So I wanted to thank him at PGH LiveJamz. Please go subscribe to him. He's a good friend. He's got a great channel. He made the backing track for today's video. All right, everybody. Peace. I hope you're having a happy January. Later on.